What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bricks and Toys. In today's episode, we're in my kitchen. And why are we in my kitchen? Well, because the last time I did this, somebody wrote me in the comments and said, "Why didn't you show us the process?" Well, that's because I've been doing this channel for over 2.5 years, and I've done this over and over again, and I just feel like, the saying, no one cares. But you know what? If someone does care, then let's do it again. Let's go through the process and let's make this video. Today's video is the next step in the 2,000 subscriber Extravaganza Bonanza video that I did back in late August, mid-August. And our next step to that video is to start making these sets back into whole sets and figuring out from the ones that we saved, are we going to save them? Now, I've already started this process with the Vespa, and I did that off camera. That's a $50 set. I'm hoping I can make a little bit more than 50 bucks on it because I'm losing my ass on it at this point. It's such a train wreck to try to restore a Vespa Lego set just for a little bit of money. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just broke that thing into a little bit of parts and sold the parts off. But no, I'm invested. I just got done doing what we're about to do in this video on that set. And even though I got it all sorted into numbered bags, it's like a brand new set, brand new sticker sheet, guess what? It's still missing more parts. It needs another 60 cents worth of parts. So hopefully today's video goes better than that, because today's video, like I said, is the Slave 1 2nd edition from 2006. Now we're still missing some minifigures on this set. They are in the mail. Sometimes people, they don't think about mailing things until last minute, and well, you know what? We gotta wait a little bit longer. But I am hoping that with this set, after we clean it and we sort it all back out, we did get this one 100% complete. The set from when we originally found it was maybe 60% complete with some of the extra bits in the bins that we just had to find. And it was those kind of things that once we sorted all the parts, we went back for the Slave 1, and then I was like, oh, I remember where that was. I remember where that was. And it was just a big game trying to figure out where everything was supposed to go and why I didn't see where things were supposed to go sooner and recognize the parts. But you know what? We're only human. So let me show you what we got going on for this first phase of this video. This is going to be a 360 all the way around video. We're going to start off with, well, Z bag of parts. We're going to go into how I wash, which is what's right around the corner. And then I'm going to show you how I dry. And then we're going to get the set built. And I'm going to show you guys the set completely built. And then by the end of this video, we're going to know, well, one, did it get delayed because I had to order more parts like I have to do the Vespa? And two, am I going to keep this set for a long time, or am I going to immediately flip it? Now, if I do flip this set, I am destined to make at least $60 profit on it, so not too bad. So at least the turnaround on this set is better than the Vespa. So let me show you the process of restoring a set from a dirty bag of bricks. So here we have our dirty bag of bricks. Nothing too exciting. It's obviously the set. We can see the sand green bits. We can see the dark gray bits. It's a very analog set. Like I've already said, no minifigures just yet, but we'll get to that towards the end of the video, I hope. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take these dirty bricks. We're probably going to wash them in 1 to 3 different batches. I'm going to say probably 3 batches, because the less you wash at a time, the better the coverage is to get the dirt off. This was a very nasty set if you watched the original video. And then we're going to go and we're going to do a 2-part system here. First part, hot water, Dawn soap. Got the soap right up there, ready to go. And we're going to wash them in hot water. We're going to take a brush to the big plates, and we're going to scrub those clean, because those are going to have a lot of dirt. Once we're all done with that, they're going to sit up here. And then they are going to drip dry. And they're going to drip dry into the drain. Obviously, where's the water going to go? And then once they finish drip drying, they're going to go to our drying system. Once they are here, they will be sorted out by color and left to dry until they are ready to be, well, built. And lastly to all of this, we have a fan. Now this fan has 2 purposes. 1, dry the brick. 2, keep the cats off of the dang counter. The cats like to get on the counter, and, well, this kind of makes them a little bit iffy. So now, let's go into our first part, which I'm not going to film. Let's get this washed, and then I'll show you guys how I got everything going as we do it. Okay, so here's the intermediate report of the washing. So I got special things laid out here. Obviously, our Boba Fett washed, our Han Solo and Carbonite cleaned, and we also have our windscreen. These are two of the parts that I had to order right here. And for how old they are, I think they're actually in pretty good condition. So we have our light bluish gray. Well, what's left of the light bluish gray. We have a cat that needs to get lost. Back. And then we have our dark bluish gray, of what's left of the dark bluish gray. A lot of this stuff yellows in a really weird color. We have our reddish brown. We have some translucents, white, tans, and our sand green, which I think was really rare for this era because these were the hardest colors to find. And then we have our blacks. And then besides that, we still have this in the drying rack. So this is done with the pre-drying, and it's ready to go and be sorted in with all of this stuff. So this is how I wash these sets. So next up is the set fully built and my decision on whether or not we're going to keep it. And I might need your help on making that decision. And 1 week later, here we are. Updates. We do not have a complete ship. We are missing some parts. And we do have all of our minifigures. So the minifigures is a huge one up, but the parts are a one down. We do have a piece like this that needs to go here, but yeah, we're missing some bricks. Other bricks we're missing besides the door here, the pieces back there. We're missing some pieces over here, also there. And over on this side, we're missing more tiling and pieces over there. And of course, another cone somewhere. I thought it was supposed to go on both sides. I think the cone actually goes here, maybe. Not exactly sure. I have to look it up. But the good news is, the reason that this has been a week in the process was not only because we were waiting for these minifigures to all come in, which the Boba Fett we already had, is we actually ordered the parts and got the parts right here. So now let's go ahead, let's pop these pieces in. And once these pieces are all put in, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a full review of this set and make a decision on whether or not we're going to keep it or sell it. So let's get those pieces put on. Okay, we now have all of our pieces on. We have our functioning cannon shooters, and we have our green pieces and all of that, and our doors are fully operational. So awesome. Looks a lot better. Those extra cone pieces went right over in here and right there. And we also put in the other piece that went right there. So let's just do a set review as we normally do on this channel. Let's start off with these minifigures from 2006. This is exciting. Our first figure is going to be this IG-88 unit, I believe. I think IG-11 is Mandalorian. I get dyslexic with this. He is this really rich silver painted color with this neon orange stud on his head. And then he also has this little blaster with the neon orange on it as well, or the really rich translucent orange, whatever you want to call it. He is a traditional droid body, but his torso is actually backwards to a traditional battle droid, which is an interesting building technique. Overall, really cool because he's very, very shiny. Our next minifigure is going to be the Bespin Guard. He is a basic blue and brown minifigure with torso print and none on the back or anywhere else besides a smile on his face. A classic minifigure and not too much to say. Then our next minifigure is going to be Denjar or Dengar. I'm not sure how you exactly say it. He has a very large blaster in his hand with that neon orange or whatever you want to call it that we've seen on IG-88. And he does have a torso print, but no other prints other than that because it's 2006, everybody. He does have a really cool headpiece that I believe has a clip on the back to hold the blaster. And just in case you are wondering what he looks like without his head bandage wrap, well, he just looks like a normal minifigure with a white head and a basic smiley face. And then lastly is our Boba Fett. This minifigure we had all along. The other three we did have to pick up. He does have front torso print with a classic helmet with print on it as well. The helmet is all one piece. He has no back print and no facial expressions. Just another classic 2006 minifigure. Now let's take a look at our 2006 Primitive 2nd Edition Slave 1. This thing is creaky and it is old and I don't know how I feel about it. We'll get to that here at the end of the video. Let's begin with our side wing. We have what looks to be some type of Technic component with the cones and all that. The best shot at greebling as they could in 2006. A lot of empty holes and stuff in this set. There's a lot to be desired in this, but we're in 2006, guys. We don't have a lot of parts, so keep that in mind. We do have a really strong build. I do have to admit that. The instructions are a pain to see clearly to put this thing together. We do have a cargo hold where we do have a Han Solo in carbonite, which is a really cool feature, especially since it is like a Lego minifigure Han Solo printed on there. And he goes right back into there. With him put away, we do have some white minifigure heads hidden down in there as a feature that drops them out. See here. There we go. And there's our other one. With that put back, we can put these guys back into the hole. It is kind of weird that if you tip the sit, those things will get lost because there's a loading and no cover to cover up the loading. There's only a cover to make it not fall out. Coming to the back here, we do have another storage door, and on the other side of this, we have what looks to be some cones and some more blasters we can put together for our minifigures to use, I believe. We do have some really basic blasters. They are not linked together as they would be in newer sets, but at least we do have these. We can be OCD, try to get them lined up as much as we want. Behind this door, we do have some what looks to be rockets. And then underneath this door, if we open up these two doors, we do have that bullet that does shoot out with, I believe, this button. Let's see if we get that to work. Whoa. And there we go. Pretty cool. And it landed on my desk, so I can just reload it and show you guys what that looks like right there. Pretty fun play features. We do have another door onto this side. This door opening up reveals what we already saw on the other side, right there. And then this door opens up for more storage compartment. That was our blaster handle, where this handle was our Han Solo handle. The whole bottom of the set is made of these chunky bricks, some of which we still see today, like these two parts, but we don't see these big ones anymore. I don't think Lego makes these ones anymore. We still see these type all around. This is your brittle brown, so you do have to be careful. Coming over here to this wing, same thing with their attempt at greebling with all of the cones and stuff. It is quite a marvel to see one of these sets fully complete. I do have to admit that. We do have this large windscreen. Coming in, we do have a printed element right there. We can also open up these doors to get some light on that bullet shooter thingamajig that we see there. Now, the unique thing is this is where your Boba Fett sits, and there is a bunch of empty space in this set that I'm not sure what you do with, but, you know, it's there to hide things, I guess. But if you put too much stuff in there, you will jam the feature that allows that chair to rotate. So it does have the rotational feature with the wings. That as the wings go flat, Boba Fett can sit up and see, so the ship can, well, fly like it does in the movies. And guys, that is our 2006 Slave 1 set review restoration from the junk pile. Let's wrap up this video. And there we have it. Some interesting facts about this set. It was released January 2006 when I turned 15 years old. Wow. That was a long time ago. Ironically, it only ran until July of 2007, and its original price was $50, which is very interesting because for a 530 some odd piece set, for $50 is not too far off where we are at 20 years later. 20 years later, we're now paying $20 more, so $60, $70, $80 for $500-$600 piece Star Wars sets. So people like to say prices have gone up. I say they're just steadily going up, like house prices and car prices and everything else. It's just how it goes in the world. Now let's get back to talking about this Slave 1. This Slave 1 is the pinnacle of nitpicky Lego. Like, this thing is so nitpicky. The instructions are absolutely terrible. It is playing a giant game of Where's Waldo and I Spy at the same frickin' time. And not only that, you cannot see anything on the instructions. It is terrible for like dark colors and stuff like that. And then if that's not messed up, if you go by the instructions like I did to make sure you have all the pieces of this set, you're going to have a few extra leftover pieces. And you're going to be going through those instructions that you can't even read to begin with, trying to figure out where does these pieces go. I don't remember seeing them, but I've read the instructions 5 times and it says that they're there at the end of the book, but where do they go? And you then go onto the internet hoping for a godsend that someone has mentioned this problem before, as we do with modern Lego. And somebody says in a post from 2008 or 2010, they say, the book is wrong. The book shows more pieces than what came with the set. Lego just didn't omit them. They were originally part of the build when they designed the set, but they never made it into the final product. So we have instructions that do not tell us what pieces we need per step. So thus you got to Where's Waldo each entire step to see what Lego added in on that step, because it doesn't have a picture window to tell you what they added in. And then you get all the pieces and you have extra and you got to try to figure out where they go. It's just a really, really interesting building experience. And after doing all of it, it is cool. I feel very grateful to be in the presence of OG Lego Star Wars. This is from an era to where Lego didn't have to be perfect. Lego wanted this for the kids mostly, and it just wasn't like how it is now to where there's so many adults and there's such a high level of expectations. This is just the OG era of Star Wars, and it's really cool to be in the presence of it. And it's really cool that I took this set from the junk you saw all the way into the first video of this series, and I made it into a very clean, very nice set. I took the time to find minifigures that had chew marks and bite marks, so they matched a Boba Fett that has chew marks and bite marks. I found as much damaged plates and bricks to match the original damaged plates and bricks, windshields with some scuffs. I really did my best to do A+ restoration that does not clearly separate the set of like, oh, sheesh, this set's half old and half new. I think it's pretty well blended. Now, at the end of all of this, even though it's really cool to be in the presence of such vintage old Lego, it doesn't really fit in with what I do with my collection. If you're going to have old, you're going to want old that matches. And this is going to be for the, I believe, the last episode where we do an Imperial episode of the blue and black. That's what I'm choosing to have old in my collection, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have this as a part of it. This is worth more money than what I originally put into it. I can make maybe $40, $50 profit on this at the end of the day, and I kind of feel like I would rather have the money than to have this set. And then the other part of me does feel like, but dude, you have an old school Boba Fett. Well, I don't have the Cloud City Boba Fett, which is another fun thing to put. I guess in the instructions and the box promo material show the Cloud City Boba Fett as being a part of this set, and then they switched it out of the actual set. But anyway, I don't know. I wasn't doing Lego back then to know all of the politics. Maybe you old timers out there that's been doing this for years and years and years, maybe you guys remember that fiasco and can comment down below what exactly that was about. But anyway, guys, it's cool, but I just don't know if it's a stay in the collection cool. And with that, guys, I don't have too much more to say. If you guys enjoy videos like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We still got 2 more episodes coming down the pipeline from our 2,000 subscriber Extravaganza Bonanza restoration series. If you know anybody that might like this video, please share this video with them. Hit the thumbs up, the like button, drop comments down below. What do you guys think about this set? I don't know if I'm going to have it still by the time this video is released, but just in case I do have it and I'm still trying to debate on whether or not to sell it, let me know in the comments down below if you think keep or sell. Up next on the channel, not really too sure, as this is a pre-filmed series that I'm working on. So thank you guys so much for watching. You all have a good one.